Hello, let's play a bunch of New York Times games, but first we reveal our dad joke of the day. For Wednesday, October 22nd, I used to run a dating service for chickens, but I was struggling to make hens meet. All right, struggling to make hens meet. Well, I would like to thank a new member and a bunch of renewed members. So bear with me here. I do want to show appreciation to all my members. Thank you to Alan Prince for signing up as a new member at the video early access tier. Don't forget to comment what you want on the wheels. Also, the following people have started a new month. Call Me Candle, Andrew Powers, Mary Max, Nine Iron Shore, Bailey Anise, and It's Me, Flamey. All right, cool. Thank you. Sometimes it's hard to parse where the space is supposed to go in a tag, but I do my best. All right, well, let's start with connections. We're finding 4 groups of 4. We've got fashion writer, pasta shaped like fashion writers. Pharaoh tailor, fire water, gas carpenter, electric mold, telephone cat, right army. Nothing really stood out to me. Carpenter made me think of Halloween. It's John Carpenter's Halloween, right? Is it? Anyway, the director, filmmaker. I don't think it's that, though. Carpenter is someone who works on wood. So, I mean, we've got a carpenter and a tailor. These are just... what's the word for that? Just as a warning, I'm doing... I've had a long day and I'm very tired. So brain not braining so well today. So we'll see how I do. But a tailor and a carpenter are both people who work on things. I don't know. There's a word for it that I just not coming to me, which is not a good sign. But do we have more like that? Electric isn't it. We do have electric and fire here and water. These are bills, but they're also right next to each other. Telephone bill. Should we try bills? I mean, yesterday it was just easy. So sometimes they use placement to try to get you to do a red herring. But I'm going to try it anyway. These are bills, monthly bills. One away. Okay. Gas also. Fire is not a bill. What am I doing? Yeah, I got to pay my fire bill. Okay. So that way the firemen don't skip my house when it's on fire. I told you, brain's not braining today. This is going to be an amusing video. I can already tell. All right. Pharaoh is a king of Egypt. What are we doing with that? I am not sure. Tailor. We still have tailor and carpenter, but we don't have more. Maybe writer, tailor, carpenter. There's just not a fourth, is there? Cat. My cat profession is cat. Fire. What are we actually doing with fire? Fire, water, wind, heart. With your powers combined. All right. Mold. Mold like there's... the fungus type thing. Is it a fungus? I don't know. The growth. Or like breaking the mold. Like you mold, or you can mold someone like as a verb. Or mold a thing. Mold and shape. They feel like verbs, right? You mold something, you shape it. Maybe you write it. You cat it. Tailor? So this is like making something fit. One away. Darn. Lots of one aways today. Mold, write, tailor, shape. What else means that? Fashion. I don't know which one doesn't belong. Maybe write. I'm chasing a one away. I shouldn't. I'm going to keep this in mind, but what would be the other categories? Army. Cat. What are we doing with cat? Catnap? Cat. Scaredy cat? Like, I'm trying to think of like fill in the blank or something for cat. Maybe it's not that. There's no point in trying this. The best that case scenario is it locks in as green, and I still need to figure out blue and purple. And then the other scenario is I lose my last mistake, which I may need on blue and purple. So we're just gonna ignore those words for a second, or at least try to figure out what like Pharaoh, writer, carpenter, such and such are doing. Pasta. Pasta is really interesting. What are we doing with pasta? Starts with the word past. Was I one day too early on the state name, or maybe it was 2 days on the starting with state abbreviations because PA is Pennsylvania and CA is California. I don't think so though. Is MO one of them? No, mold. I feel like it. I feel like it's gonna be mold, shape, fashion, and tailor. But I'm not gonna lock it in right now. But I'm trying to figure out like what army or right angle. There's so many things that can be right. What the heck is Pharaoh doing though? I think about pyramids. I think about Egypt. I think about the Bible, like the story of Moses. Carpenter makes me think about the Bible, like with Jesus. But I don't see how that works. Writer needs to do something. Fire needs to do something. It's got to be like some property, like things that. There's probably a things that for blue and a fill in the blank for purple is my suspicion because I don't see how these relate otherwise. Army starts with arm. Carpenter starts with carp. I'm just trying to see if there's wordplay, but I'm not seeing it. If anything was going to have wordplay, it would be Pharaoh, but I just don't see it. There's like nothing interesting about Pharaoh, letters wise. Could it be like the Sphinx is a cat? So it makes me think of pyramids, right? The Pharaoh, Sphinx, but I just don't see it. Army, pasta, fire, writer. It's just not working for me. Carpenter, fashion magazine, fashion. No, fashion is part of my mold. I'm actually going to lock this in. It's confusing me. And I really just hope it's right because I can't figure out this other one. Shape, tailor, fashion, and mold, I'm pretty sure is it. I don't think right is it. Yeah, okay. Adapt to fits one's needs. All right. That was right the whole time. It was just getting in the way with me trying to figure out the rest of these categories. Cat. Blue and purple, always. Purple be purplin'. I'm sure of it. Fire drill. Fire alarm. Fire has a lot of properties, like it consumes things. It's hot. Requires oxygen. Pharaohs and fire. Oh. Pharaohs are mummified. Army. 7 nation blank. Army men. Like the little green army men. Right angle, right triangle. Right. So many things can be right. I feel like there's going to be a things that, and it's going to be like fire and carpenter or something, and pasta. Like, what are we doing with pasta? I don't know. Just because these are just things that have a lot of properties. Fire. I don't know. I've just been sitting staring. I haven't gotten any new thoughts. The only thing I can think to try is somehow writer, carpenter, pharaoh, and army, or maybe cat. Like, I'm thinking like, I don't know which ones, but I'm thinking they're like Halloween or holiday. Like, I don't know. Like John Carpenter's Halloween, right? Black cats. Pharaoh, I don't know. Someone might dress up as a pharaoh. I don't know what that one would be, but like, I don't know. Army, writer. It's not Halloween, but carpenter could also be the profession. So these are technically people with professions. Army isn't. People can be in the army, and it is a profession, but you don't say I'm an army. You can say I'm a writer, I'm a carpenter, I'm a pharaoh, but no, I'm an army. Unless you're John Wick. Fire. But I don't see what these have in common. I think we have a things that are, and I'm just not making the connection. And then I think purple's a fill in the blank, and I'm not seeing it. I still think that's what's happening. I do have one mistake I can use. I don't know what to use it on though. I'll use it on the things that can be people. A person can be a writer, a carpenter, pharaoh, and army's made up of people. The rest aren't people. So I'm going to try this and see if we're one away. That is one away. Okay. So we don't have any more mistakes to use, but we need to figure out which one of these is removed and then what's added to make a category. We can also think about the same for these four: fire, cat, right, and pasta. Fire, cat, maybe fireman, army man, pasta man, cat man, art, right man. None of those are man. Fire station, fire brand, fire, I don't know, fire alarm. The only thing I can think of is to replace army with cat, because like I was saying, like I'm a writer, I'm a carpenter, I'm a pharaoh, I'm a cat. You can't say I'm a pasta, I'm a fire, I'm a right, or I'm an army. So just part of speech wise, but I can't justify it. Writers use pens and pencils. Writers, I don't know. Writer's block doesn't really make sense. I'm tempted to just lock this in because I'm so lost. I don't know what to do. Pasta, fire, right, and army. What are we doing with pasta? That's what that's one that I really don't know. I feel like pasta has to be in a things that, because I can't think of any 2-word phrase that involves pasta. There's antipasta, I guess. Do we have any antis? No. I wish I had more mistakes. If I hadn't made those 2 mistakes earlier, I could try this. That one where I said fire was a bill, that's unforgivable. I don't know. Fire ant. Fire. I'm going to go with this. I basically am giving up. Nah, that wasn't it. Okay. Not surprised. Kinds of ant. It is ant. Oh, well, I just don't know these ants. I think I've heard of army ants, actually. Army ants, carpenter ants, and fire ants. I have not heard of pharaoh ants. Darn, I said it right at the end there, and I didn't investigate it enough. And then copy, copycat, copy pasta. Oh my gosh. The internet meme of copy pasta, copyright, and copywriter. They couldn't have just made this paste, at least. Oh my gosh. Wow, this was tough. I might have been able to figure out the ants, but I wouldn't have known that pharaoh was an ant, but I would have known that writer wasn't an ant. So I probably would have gotten it. It wasn't until it showed it that I was like, oh yeah, there's army ants and carpenter ants. I said fire ant right at the end. Oh well. Difficulty. I don't know. Was this hard or am I just too tired? I'm going to just say it was 3 out of 5 and we have a 70% solve rate. All right. 2.8 out of 5. 46%. Okay, I'm not the only one who struggled. All right. I was unique. That's for sure. If I hadn't made that mistake with putting fire in with the bills, I might have been okay. Yeah, people aren't getting blue and purple. Yeah, that's some people are getting nothing. So we've got 16% get. Oh no, actually, if we add these, we get 28% getting just green, yellow, then 10% getting nothing, 9% getting only green, 6% getting only yellow. Yeah, people who are losing aren't getting blue and aren't getting purple. It's the crux of it. I am not the only one who put fire in utility. 40% of people made that mistake. Fire isn't a utility, though. Huh. I guess I wasn't the only one who had that brain fart. I'm also like trying professions, right? Oh, this one is not even sure what this. I mean, this is just people trying to figure out blue and purple is what's happening here. And I'm not the only one who thought writing something might be to form it. Okay. People getting yellow first, then green first. Putting, wow, 18% first are putting fire, water, gas, electric. What were we thinking for that? Writer, Pharaoh, Taylor, Carpenter. I wonder if these are just looking for professions. Writer, Taylor, Carpenter, Army looking for professions. Getting blue correct. No one got purple first. It's 1%, but yeah, crazy. All right, well, how'd you do? Let's do pips for Wednesday, October 22nd. Let's play. All right. We're just going in a circle here. What's the blank blank going in? I don't have a domino that adds to 6, do I? No. So these got to get split up. So, oh, a lot of the blanks go in the 5 probably. Actually, do I want to do this to get 5? Oh, but then I can't. Never mind. This doesn't work. What am I doing? Maybe. Oof. Okay, this isn't working. Let's find the pips that add to 5. I could put a 1, 4 and a blank blank here, but the problem is I don't have something that adds to 6. We got to offset it like this. We do have a blank, but that's less than 5. I don't have a 1 for this. I mean, there we go. That's the 2, 3 in there. Wow, that almost a minute for the easy. Let's move on to the medium. Ooh, okay. I think I have to fix the scroll here a little bit. All right. 6 times 5 is 30. So how many 6s do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We use all our 6s in here. And then we need 4 equals that aren't 6. It's not the blanks. We need 2 that are 4 equal. So 1s we have 4 of. 2s we have plenty, 5 of. 3s we don't. 4s we don't. 5s doesn't look like it. So we're going to have 1s and 2s. 1s and 2s between these. Uses up all the 1s. Oh my gosh. How do I get started on this? Okay, how many equal dominoes do I have? We have a 1, 1, and we have a 2, 2, but we're not allowed to use those because they need to be in the 4s. I'm looking at what's going to go here. So we don't have a double up. So we're going to be doing something like, this is just a placeholder, but something like a domino here, like a 1, 3. And then we would need to repeat the 3. I guess we could do 3 blank. And then we would do blank 4, because we can't do the blank 2. And then we would do 4, 6 here. And so then there's a domino here, so this would be 6, 6. And then this would be 6 up into something we have a bunch of. So it'd have to be the 6, 2. And then we have to do the 2, 2. And then we have to do the final 2 blank up. Okay. And then we need 1, 1 here. The 1, 2 goes here. 4, 5 goes here. 6, 5 goes here. And I guess I guessed right, or there's many solutions to this. Because I just kind of like picked the 1, 3 to go here. There were other options. Maybe. The 2 blank, maybe. But maybe 1, 3 was the way to go. Maybe my instinct was kind of forced there. All right, cool. Let's do the hard pips for Wednesday, October 22nd. We got 2 different ones here. All right, I'm going to scroll this down a little bit. 11 is always 5, 6. Do we have a 5, 6 domino? We do. So we could just pile the 11 there. It's probably not true. Do we have a double, though? We do have a double, too. So far, that's working, kind of. We need double 6 here. So I like 6 blank down because this has to add to 6, which is very low. Which means this is a domino. Maybe the 1, 2 or something like that. This is 4, 6, or... See, this is going to go up. We have a domino here, and then this is going to go up into here, which is going to be a 4 or a 6 or a 5. If I did... 5, 3. I could do the 1, 2 here. Now I need a 6 going up. We have 6, 4 is the only thing left. And now this has to be 5 going up. We have to do the 5, 1 because we're missing. We don't have a, this is a not equal. We can't do the 5, 4. And then we have a less than 1, which has to be this blank. So now hopefully we can do this. Greater than 3. It's going to be 4, 5. And then this is going to be 3, 2. And I managed to do it in 114. All right. I was just kind of speculating that this could be the 11 domino, and I was trying to prove it wrong, but I just kept not being able to prove it wrong, so we just solved it. All right, cool. Well, how'd you do? Hello, let's do the mini crossword for Wednesday, October 22nd. Room full of students, a class. Something to bring in a brown paper bag, lunch. Blank Harbor, sightseeing area of Baltimore, not sure. Where many Stephen King novels are set. Maine, I think. Beagle or bulldog? A breed? Go bouldering is climb. Lunar New Year. Redhead of musical movie fame is Annie. Something an actor might steal is a scene. And then tear to pieces is shred. And the thing we missed was Inner Harbor. Sightseeing area of Baltimore. Okay, I haven't heard of Inner Harbor. But we got the rest. How'd you do? Hello, let's do Strands. Today's theme is catch-all. Pokemon. Catch-all. We have drunk drawer. Oh, that's our spanagram. Okay. So things that go in your junk drawer. Paper clips. Surely paper clips. Clip in general. Coin. All right. What else goes in there? Like loose change, attack. Okay. Oh. What are we doing with tack then? Oh, there's 2 ways to do tack, actually. Oh, well, okay. Whole scissors? I don't know. What's in the junk drawer? I don't know. Why can't I think of anything? Samba's in the junk drawer. Pace? Cash? Okay. Peck. Peck is in the junk drawer. Back. What goes in a junk drawer? Old keys for some reason that you keep. I don't know. I keep wanting to do clip, but I can't. Paper clip, nails, screws. What's in the junk drawer? Tape, maybe? Okay, tape. So it's not tack. Maybe it's thumbtack. It is thumbtack. Okay. And then ending in ACE, almost certainly. Lace, shoelace. Okay, 2 more. Penny. Nope. You got lice in the junk drawer. Batter? Why would it be batter? Battery. A battery is in the junk drawer. And a pencil. All right. I got it. Some extra words, but no hints. How'd you do? All right, let's spin the members wheel. See what bonus game we're playing today. It's going to be Call Me Candle, suggested Squirtle. Let's play it. All right, this is today's daily Squirtle. So the way this game works is we need to start with something. So let's just start with steel. And we are trying to solve 6 Wordles at once that overlap each other, kind of crossword style. Now, these hints are telling us about letter placements similar to Wordle, but because we're solving a bunch at once, they're a bit unique. So this means there is an A here. This yellow E, it has arrows pointing left, right to remind us. That means that in this word horizontally, there is an E somewhere in this row, but not in this column. White, like this A and T and E, are telling us that it's in the puzzle, but not in that row or column. Black, like this S and L, are telling us they aren't in the puzzle at all. Finally, we're forced to guess the words in order. So we have to guess these. We guessed this row and column at once. Now we have to guess this row and column at once, and then the final end once, and then it repeats. This is our number of guesses remaining. If we get something right, it adds a guess remaining. All right, so let's get new letters. Let's do I don't know. I saw choir. That's kind of fun. Ooh, nice. Okay, so we know that this starts with CH. We also know there's an I somewhere. There's also an I here. It really makes me think this is an I. There's no R, so it's not like chirp. It could be chimp. I could try a P in the middle here. There's a C somewhere in this word, an R somewhere in this word. Would this end in C-A-R? You know, I'm thinking maybe we end in an E-R here just because I'm seeing this R pointing here and this R pointing here. So we could try that. So maybe I can do something that's P-E-R. I'm going to try caper because it tests whether the C is at the end of this word, and it tests the ER, and it tests the P for chimp. All right, so we learned it is not ER. In fact, there's no E at all here, but we did place the C. This is not a P. There's no P in the puzzle. Okay, the R is somewhere in this word. I'm thinking we're going to go C-R. Are we going to go an A here? This could be like China, like the plates. I want to try a Y here next time we come around. Maybe crazy would be an interesting guess. But let's see. But this vertical, we found the C. Ending in C is tough. Like an IC. Oh yeah, there is an I to the left or right here. So I definitely want to try IC. There's no T. I can't do tunic. What? I can't do sonic. What does that then? What else do I know? There's an E in this word somewhere. I bet there's an E here. They both point at it. This could be an L. No, there's no L in the puzzle. I was thinking recall, but that definitely doesn't work. What about runic? Is there an R here? We don't know yet, right? So I'm going to try runic. Okay, I was right about the IC, but nothing else. Should I try China here? I'd love to think of something that does INA. Really, I just have to get that N. I'm pretty sure the N's correct. And I can get the rest from getting horizontal words. So why don't I do an INE word just to test my thoughts for the horizontal? There's an H somewhere, but not in this word. What can we do? Ooh, what would go INE? Brine. Let's try brine. All right. So I was right about China. I don't think there's another option here. There's an R up or down, so I do think we're CRA. In fact, we have to be. This is actually forced now because the R can't go here. There's a white R right there. So we're CR, almost certainly A. I kind of want to try crazy. Let's try it. Not a Y. Okay. Whoa, there's a Z. This is a Z. That is extremely lucky. There's an R in this word. It's not here or here or here. So this is forced to be R. We found that I. We found this R. We found both of these R's. There's an A up here somewhere. Are we doing maize? Oops. Like the corn. I'm guessing this word and this word. So what would go MIC? I can't think of it. What about this word? We found the R. We found the E. So we know where these R's are. We know where this C is. There's a T somewhere. It's not here or here. Where's the T go? Maybe at the end of this word? We could do like craft and then ERT. What does that? Like avert? Can't and then double A though. I want to end in CAL. What else can we end in? CAW? Like macaw? I could try that. It also tests whether this is an M, because we'll get an M pointing down. Okay, so it wasn't macaw, but this is an A. I'm going to try maze then, because the M is pointing down. Perfect. Okay, got maze done. Is this craft? I'm going to guess at least draft, because we already have the C placed. We don't have to place it again. And that'll test a D, I guess. All right. So it was craft. I wish I could think of what word goes something something MIC. We're running out of letters that can go here. What goes ACA? Fac. What are we ending in? X or V, not V, G, J, K. What vowel could this be? Because I feel like it has to be a vowel. It's not A because of that A. It's not E because of that E. I think it could be I. It could be O. There's no U in the puzzle. So I or O. Omic, imic, mimic? No, it's not an M. Gimmick is not spelled that way. Oof, I'm having trouble. All right, well, I have some more guesses I can do. So what letters do I want to try to get here? The common, I mean, there aren't that many commons left, but G, K, and V would be, sorry, G, K, and V would be great to get. I'd like to try a vowel second. Cacao, maybe? Did we try a C here? You know what? This could be. It's comic and cacao. So I need a word that goes C-O something something O. Comma does that. No, commo would do that. Congo, maybe. Okay, perfect. So I got both of them at once. I finished cacao and comic. For some reason I thought that couldn't be a C, but obviously it could be. Now we just need this final word. I think it's overt. Nice. I got it. 4 left. That was a hard day today, though. We had maze. We had cacao. Comic, for some reason, I just couldn't think of. All right, cool. Well, those are the games for this video. I hope you enjoyed them. There is a link at the end of the video, which will let you watch Wordle right away. There's also a pinned comment with all the videos I made today. And if you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.